Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 2 of the GAVRA Racing Christmas Cup. And here tonight, if you can't tell, we're on snow again in these fantastic WRX cars here at Bathurst. Which, let me make a quick adjustment so I can actually read what I have on the screen. Yep, there we go. A little bit bigger for me. It is 6.21 kilometers or 3.86 miles long, 23 turns. They have, I got it wrong again. They have 15-minute qualifying with a 20-minute race. And once again, obviously it's snow. And, yep, hey guys in the chat. No, it is just starting. Yeah. So how you doing, Cinder? Good to see you on there. Hey, Bowie, how you doing? Oh yeah, this is, I can't wait to see y'all on this track. This is gonna be absolutely insane. Especially right here. I've got the camera on Joe. Joe's on the downhill. Yep, and I believe that chef in front of him pulling off a monster drift. Joe keeping it nice and steady, but I have to say, Chef is putting on the show behind him. Hey, Billy O'Connor, how you doing, man? Good to see you in the chat as always. And yeah, let me get this map off of here for y'all so y'all can actually see who's driving tonight. Yeah, and there we go. Yeah, so I'm going to go see if I can work my way back up here to the top. Pay no mind to this guy here. He's just going to hang out in the pit tonight. Don't know why. That's just what he does. We have TTV Alianzo, I believe it is, tonight in the Civic, it looks like. Looks like he's having a lot of fun sliding the car around. Solo. I believe Solo is in the Mini Cooper. Which I have to say, I really like the Mini Cooper. It's a really tough car. Oh, and they are moving around on me. And let's get back up here. We've got Pete tonight. And Bowie, who we were just talking to in the chat. Who I do believe Joanna has managed to get in tonight. I did not get to see her last week, so I'm excited to see her this week, see what she does. I believe she's quite a drifter, so everyone could have their hands full with her. And yep, back to, we have ESR Chef. Also in a Civic, so we've got a couple of guys choosing the Civic tonight. And we have Guri69. Yep, I believe he is in the blue and pink, not the orange. Yep, sorry y'all. Yeah, apparently I went colorblind there for a minute. That is a green car, not orange. And we have Mike HLB. And where'd Joe go? Joe went back to the pit for a minute. We have Joe tonight, though. Joe did amazing last week. I can't wait to see what he does tonight. I think he's going to have a lot of fun regardless. And we will have, like I said, it's a 20-minute race. And the guys they'll only have a couple of minutes. Oh, and we also have Sig. Looks like his internet is managing to hold in. Sig gave us a fantastic show last week too. So we can expect the same out of him. A couple of these guys are going to give us just some fantastic drift shows. I can't wait to see him going up and down the mountain. We'll stick with Sig for a second and see what kind of show he puts on for us. We know it's going to be good. Of course, up the mountain, very difficult. Little off-camber turn there. I think we can expect everybody to go a little wide there. And once again, uphill, off-camber, very tricky. Nice little slide from Sig around through there, though. Now for the treacherous downhill. Everything off camber, very fast. and obviously very slick from a lot of ice. Fantastic job from Sig hanging in there. I believe we're going to see a lot of guys doing exactly that tonight. That turn is tough enough, not on ice. Oh, and I was wrong. He's now on the downhill. Somewhere I missed something. Looks like a lot of the guys are having a little bit of issue with this really tough race director tonight. He really should be more lenient and let them set some actual qualifying times. No, I believe I saw you also, Cinder, in the chat saying you didn't sleep much. No, I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. Trying to get with it though. If my coffee will manage to get kicked in, I'll be good to go. But hey, sometimes that coffee's just a little slow. I'll get it in gear though. I'm trying to really save most of it for the race too. Oh yeah, and man, I was trying to say earlier, we'll have a 20-minute race here at Bathurst, and after that we will go to Ruapuna Park. So it'll be a very different track. Instead of a lot of hills and off camber turns and slides, it'll be very flat, and yeah, it'll definitely be a difference in how they have to take the turns. I was trying to figure out which one may be more tricky. Oh, as we have a couple guys in the back going a little bit wide. I think we're going to expect that through turn one. It's another one. Well, actually, almost all of them on this track are very difficult without ice and snow on the track. So Sig has managed to put himself into first with qualifying, though, with a 2-minute and 32-second lap. I think that is very impressive. This is a very lengthy track. And actually, let me get... No, we don't want timings. We want... There we go. We'll get a speedo up there. So yeah, Sig, 70 miles an hour over the top of the hill. 115. Slowing down to right at 80. How fast will he take this turn? Right, he went into it at 100 miles an hour and bled off about 20. Not quite 20, more about 18. Oh, was that your first win in GAVRA Racing Center? Was that Ruapuna? I used to be one of the tracks I didn't like a whole lot, but after last season with the Radicals, I actually really enjoyed it. It was a great track to race on in the Radical, so I'm looking forward to seeing it again. Especially with these guys on the ice, it's going to be brutal. Let's see, what's Sig going to get up to going down the straight? 150, 155, 160, 163, 4. Good Lord, he's getting his car up to right just under 175 miles an hour. Yeah, that's the way I felt about Ruapuna, Cinder. Or, well, I guess Kev. Y'all with your different names, you really keep me confused. But it's good to keep me on my toes a little bit. Alright, so we have ESR Chef in second at the moment. With the second, we are still in qualifying. They only have 5 minutes left, and it looks like most everybody, half the grid has set a time. Chef with a 2:33. Sig just outdone by Guri with a 2:30 flat up just about. Close enough for me to call it flat. Unlike the Earth. Oh, Billy O'Connor says he loves this. Yeah, I believe this is definitely one of my more favorite tracks to race on. Very difficult and fast and somewhat technical, but it's a beautiful track to race. Yes, and yeah, Chef with the 2:33, Joanna with a very impressive 2:34. She's going to hang out in the pit for a minute. Bowie with also a 2:34. Once again, I think we're going to see the top of the field very tight. The middle 3/4 of the field extremely tight. and it'll make for some very tough racing. Pete, where is Pete? There's Pete. Pete is running a 235 at the moment. Still, I think, very impressive around this track in these conditions and in these cars. Mike HLB, 256. We know he's going to be a lot faster on track. He always is. And if I remember right, he actually did very well last week. There he is, giving us a very nice drift around that turn. Like I said, I think we're going to see a lot of the guys doing that in that turn. Very difficult in these conditions. Oh, that was just plain out beautiful right there on the downhill. Yeah, there you go, camera guy. Keep up, because Mike HLB is actually giving us a beautiful run here on the downhill. I hope y'all are enjoying watching this as much as I am. I believe that was the best looking downhill run I've seen tonight yet. Mike HLB, yes, that was absolutely beautiful to watch you on the downhill there. That was a fantastic job. Allo Champs with a 307. Allo Champs is always running very fast in the race. Don't mistake this 3 minutes and 7 seconds qualifying for a race reflection. He is, after all, very experienced, been with GAVRA Racing for quite some time. Jukebox has not left the pit, but somehow he is currently in 9th in qualifying. Yeah, I'm really confused on that. Don't know how that's happening. Alonso in 10th. I'm sure we'll get a qualifying lap out of him. We may not. I keep saying, you know, this is a very brutal track in these conditions. Oh, see, right there on the downhill, it's so easy to lose the grip. I believe that, yep, that was Alonso in front over there, giving us a beautiful slide and managing to hang on to that Honda Civic fantastically, I must say. Solo, okay, so that was Solo that got a little bit loose on the downhill there. It's real easy to get on the brakes, and all the weight shifts to the front. And these cars they're really set to slide, so they really like for you to put the weight on the front. The rear end lift takes almost all the weight off the back tires, and around you go. And Joe, where are you at? Joe is hanging out in the pit still. Joe is like me. He's not a hot lapper. He is always also much more impressive throughout the race than qualifying, so he may be deciding to take it a little easy. But I think once again, I think Joe is going to be the racer I'm rooting for tonight. And past that, Joanna is going to be the racer I'm looking to see what she puts down on the track. She is a very impressive racer when it comes down to it. And is that... Oh, yes, that is Joanna coming back out. So we do have some drivers that I know watch the stream but don't try to text and type. Or, sorry, I'll drive and text, see? Bubblegum, walking. I'm not that great at it. Please don't know and throw a ball. I'll definitely be distracted if you throw a ball. And who else do we have coming out here on track? We know it's not Jukebox. It's not Solo. It's not Joe. Looks like a lot of the guys qualifying is pretty much over. It's going to give them enough time to do one more lap. And if you haven't noticed, I have not done a GAVRA Racing advertisement yet, and I'm going to hold off on those for the short break. Sig will get us, he'll go through after this race, change the settings over real quick. We'll pop right back in. I think last time it didn't take but about 2 minutes. He was actually a lot faster than I thought he was going to be. And let's see, who is still out here? Sig. So Sig is still out here, so I tell you what, we're going to finish up qualifying. in, there we go, in Sig's cockpit, if he doesn't mind squeezing over just a little bit to let us in there. And we'll get us a little sound of these engines as well. Here we get a first-hand view of what it's like for the downhill for these drivers. Sig doing an incredible job of sliding it around and holding on. Oh, little bit of paint left on there though, but I would dare not call that pinball racing. That was just a little bit of paint left. Sig did a fantastic job of holding on to it. And we'll have a little bit of excitement here. We get to see firsthand how Sig handles this. This is a really extreme stop at these speeds. And of course, Sig handled it absolutely beautifully. And there we are winding down to the end of qualifying. Sig is still the only driver out on track, and y'all will have to forgive me for some reason. Before we kick over to the race, I feel the incredible need to leave this nice, warm commentator's box and run back down to my really cold car. Yes, Cinder, oh, no. Guri had him beat. Sig couldn't stand it. That must be why he stayed out. He managed to pull out 4/10 above Guri. 4/10. Brad Z Fader P5, let's go. Yep, yeah, TTV Alianzo, and hopefully I'm saying his name right. I hate to say it, but we Americans are classic for butchering pronunciations. We don't mean to. Yeah, like I was saying, I real quick, I feel the need to run all the way back down to my car, freeze my butt off for a minute, and run back up here afterwards to this nice warm commentator's box. Hopefully the drivers have some heat in their cars. And let's see if we can get, oh, yep. We are stuck in the we're in Sig's. There we go. There. I promised y'all I was going to run back down here and get cold. And there we have it. We will start with Sig in first, Guri69 in second, Chef in third, Pete in fourth, Alianzo in fifth, Bowie sixth, Mike HLB in seventh. That jukebox coming in, he's going to start ninth, but we know he's not going to do anything. He's going to quit. Solo is 10th, Joe Black 11th. Oh, wait a minute. Did we lose some drivers here? Did we lose Joanna? I hope we did not lose Joanna. Kev rooting for Bowie and Joe. Yeah, Bowie's going to give us a good show, I know. And no, I don't want to race. I want to tire. Yeah, like, y'all give me a second here. I got to get back up to my nice warm commentator's box. We will get, while I'm in the car, we'll go ahead and get the speedo up there. And I believe we will also get a map. Be good to see where everyone is. Yeah, we have definitely, oh, we have lost Sachedo. We have lost Joanna. Oh yeah, Sachedo's trying to get back in, but I just don't think it's gonna let him. Oh, that is terrible. He put on a great show last week. Alright, y'all, I am gonna try to be quiet for, looks like we have about 30 seconds to 1 minute before we get synced in. And yeah, the track temperatures up in the right hand corner are correct. Sorry, I do not have those in the Celsius conversion, but yeah, it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit for the track. That's way below freezing. And looks like we've got 15 seconds. Oh no, looks like we may be losing. We may have lost another driver here. I hope not. Yeah, because I believe when I was saying that was Alo Champs, I believe it was not TTV Alianzo, but Alianzo. I believe they are a group of brothers that are new to GAVRA, which is also great to see. And they're off. Guri getting by Sig. Sig not having it, taking it back. ESR Chef holding on to third. Pete up into fourth. Joe all the way up into fifth. Way to go, Joe. Bowie holding on to sixth. Mike HLB in seventh. Solo holding on to eighth. Oh, we have lost the brothers. Oh man, that is very unfortunate. I really enjoyed watching them last week. Oh yeah, unfortunately it probably will not let them back in. Oh, everyone right on top of each other through the uphill turn. Oh, we did have a little bit of contact, not too bad. Everyone doing a fantastic job. We have not had a pile up. How, I don't know. Really goes to show you how the skill level of these drivers is tonight. It is definitely up there. Sig managing to stay out in the front, like I said. Guri still right behind him. Joe up in where? Let me get on Joe. Joe up into third. He is passing everyone like crazy. Pete right behind him though. Pete and Joe do have a little bit of past season rivalries, I guess you could say. So he has really been gunning for Joe for a long time. I don't think he's gonna let up tonight. He's definitely still gunning for him. Bowie is fifth. ESR Chef has fallen down into sixth, and Mike HLB is in seventh. And yeah, we have lost like I said, we did lose a few drivers there. Very unfortunate. But luckily enough for me and everyone watching, 7 drivers, Bathurst, ICE, WRX cars. That is more than enough to put on a fantastic show. And let's see, let's get up there. Sig has managed to get 1 second in front of Guri. Guri 69 is right there behind him. Joe right there behind Guri. This is really where the action is. Oh. Looks like Guri had a little bit more grip in the turn than Joe anticipated. But luckily enough, it looked like just a little bit of paint swap. They both have green cars, so I don't believe there was any harm or foul done there. Even very similar paint schemes, so you know it all works good together. Oh, Joe did get a little bit wide there in the last turn, allowing Pete through. See, I told y'all Pete is always been gunning for Joe. He's got an entire past season of doing it, and he is really going to go for it. Oh, who was that? Please tell me. Oh, no, that was my guy Joe in the back that did get a little bit too wide through turn 1. Hang in there, Joe. We know you're going to go right back up there. Don't let Pete getting by you get to you. As we did have a little bit of contact, and we got a little bit of a pile up here. Because Pete was up in second place. Everyone coming around the turn, not able to see everybody. We're going to go check in on our leader, let the guys get their cars back on track, and sorted out. Pete had made his way up into second. Him and Guri were extremely close. Very tight racing on these tracks. Without a little bit of that is, I'm not going to say impossible, but it's pretty close. Sig giving us a fantastic slide through there. Way to go, Sig, holding on his way down the downhill. And we have... Oh, Guri has managed to hold on to his third place position. Bowie's made his way up into second because of all the collisions we have had, but As y'all can see by all the triangles, all the drivers are still right up on top of each other, and we're fixing to go check on them. Sig now on the straightaway, so that, yep, we are going to check in on the middle of the pack. Oh my god, they are so close. They were way closer than I thought they were going to be. Pete managing to keep Mike HLB fended off for the moment. Mike HLB trying to put the pressure on Pete, but receiving the pressure from Joe. This can only end up going two ways: massive passes or massive crashes. And we see Joe, there we go, massive pass going on here at the moment. Joe going by Mike HLB, both a little bit wide. That's what you're gonna do in these cars in these conditions. Oh, looks like Mike HLB had to go a little bit deeper into that turn than he planned on to make sure he didn't have any contact with Joe. Fantastic driving from Mike HLB. That could have very easily ended very badly for both drivers. Joe right back now, though, again putting the pressure on Pete. See, told y'all, Joe and Pete is these two. They've got it in for each other. Pete wants to beat Joe just one time with pretty much everything he's got in him, and Joe Black is Joe Black. He is good and stubborn and refuses to let that happen. Oh, but looks like Guri may have got a little bit wide to put Pete into second. Oh, they got a little bit close there, which had allowed Joe to get in front of him and take second. But there's, from a little bit of lack of grip and a little too much speed, Joe did hit the wall just a little bit. He's holding on to third, though. Guri back now into, so where are you at, Guri? There's my camera guy on Guri. We'll get on Guri. He is in second, but Joe is right behind him. It looks like Guri, I'm not sure what happened exactly there, though, but it clearly, Guri did just yield that position to Joe. So, there you go. That's a perfect demonstration of the level of respect that the GAVRA racers give each other on track. You really need not look any farther for proof of it. That was a perfect example of it. Like I said, not sure exactly what happened, but yeah, Guri definitely yielded that position. So, but Guri still has Pete right behind him. Oh, the entire back of the field on top of each other. Pete receiving massive pressures from Mike HLB, and as we saw in qualifying, Mike HLB does a beautiful job on the downhills here. I would really be hard-pressed to say who does a better job, him or Sig. I really want to, with that one run that we did watch, I really want to lean towards Mike HLB. Mike HLB, that was a beautiful downhill he did during qualifying, so we know he does it quite well. And there he is, right up on the, oh, a little bit of contact to the rear of Bowie, which has allowed Chef, who I was fixing to get down there too, has managed to catch back up. Sig, though, Sig has managed to pull off a massive 18 second lead. There he is there. But Joe Black now made his way back up into second. He only has about a half a second lead over Guri 69, though. So he is still receiving massive pressure. Guri still in the hot seat from Pete. Pete, not much of a break from Bowie, though. Bowie only about a second and a half. Oh, as we did have a little bit of contact there behind him. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but yeah, Chef and Mike HLB, definitely something happened between those two. They did have a little bit of a tie-up there. Thankfully, this is for a fun race. Of course, you know, even then, we don't want anything too bad, but yeah, it almost kind of looked like they both were trying to go side by side down the straight, and both of them got their back tires off of the track, and it kind of spun both of them into each other. But I could be very mistaken. Like I said, did not get a great look at it. I try not to make such calls. Let's get up here to Joe. Look at Joe Black going. He is pulling off a great second. He's gone back and forth with second many times tonight. Also with Guri. Guri really not wanting to give that second place position up. He qualified second, and he is bound determined he is going to finish second. We are getting close to halfway done with this race. Radzi Fader says he got disqualified for no reason. If you didn't get readied up in time for the race, you have to make sure you're ready up, and that will automatically disqualify you. But I think that should be the only disqualifications they have all set for tonight, but I could be very mistaken. As the commentator, I try not to stick my nose in too much into how they set everything, and of course it actually just allows me to keep more focused on the commentary and graphics. Guri still not letting Joe go, and let's go back here to Pete and Bowie. They are very close. We're going to see Bowie catch right back up. He's only about a second and 4/10 behind Pete at the moment. And yep, in the back, ESR, Chef, and Mike HLB are still going at it. Still battles all up and down this very difficult track, very difficult conditions. I hate to admit it, I have got disqualified from several races for not actual readying up. The first several, I didn't actually know that you had to hit the ready up button before the timer had counted down. So if that's what happened, then yeah, that's definitely what it was. But it does happen, and even to a lot of the more experienced guys. I believe it may have been Bowie or someone one night just wasn't paying attention when it got right down there to the timer, forgot to hit it, and he didn't get readied up and got disqualified out of the race. Yeah, and speaking of Bowie, wow, Bowie is right on top of Pete here. Bowie's definitely going to go for a move any second now. Let's see how they do on the downhill. Bowie not letting the pressure off. And as soon as they get to the straight, we're going to go check in on ESR, Chef, and Mike HLB. Bowie giving us a beautiful slide on the downhill there, but not quite able to catch up with Pete. Pete did have a little bit better run there, or I think really a better exit on that last turn on the downhill run. I was just fixing to say Mike HLB is still giving us some absolutely beautiful runs, and he left just a little bit of paint on that. And Mike HLB, man, I'm gonna take responsibility for that, and we'll blame that on commentator's curse. That was totally my fault for you hitting that wall like that. It definitely was commentator's curse. I mean, trust me, I'm on this end. I know when it happens. It's unmistakable. And where is Chef? It looks like Chef has managed to get himself about 10 seconds in front of Mike HLB somewhere there. We're going to go back up here to Pete. Bowie has managed to get by Pete. Pete still right on top of Bowie though. We're down to 6 minutes out of the 20. Bowie doing a fantastic slide through there, really keeping the speed up in front of Pete. If he can manage to keep a little bit of a gap from Pete, then he can keep Pete pushing a little bit hard, and Pete may end up making a mistake and trying to push a little extra hard to catch Bowie. But as I say that, it looked like Bowie was pushing just a little bit extra hard himself there. Oh, beautiful, Pete. That was fantastic job right there coming through there. Oh, Chef now catching up to Guri. Are they going side by side down the front? Down the straight, sorry. It's actually the back. Yep, it looked like Chef did get a little bit better exit, giving him a speed boost in front of Guri. Guri still within range to make a move, though, at any time. And let's go back up here and check on Pete. And then I'm going to go through and do another rundown, because I have not been on SIG in a minute. And he is now, I believe that is 19, almost 20 seconds in front of Joe. Joe, I believe, has a 3-second lead in front of Bowie. Yeah, let's go on up there and I'll talk about that as I'm actually looking at him. So I haven't gave our leader any camera time here lately. But in my defense, all the action was happening out back. Sig managed to do a fantastic job of handling his car and getting out in front of everybody. Yeah, I'm going to turn these car volumes up just a little bit here. I think my camera guys may actually be a little farther from track than what they usually are. Probably huddled up around a campfire trying to stay warm. 3 minutes left in this 20-minute race. Sig is on the downhill. Oh, that was absolutely fantastic. That was a great display of getting the weight in the car to shift and to grab in on that back tire just like he wanted it to. Got it to dug in, and he got a fantastic exit. And I have to stick with him because I know he's going to hit about 175 miles an hour coming down through the back straight, going into this turn. It's a very heavy braking right there. So yeah, we've got Sig in first. Joe, who I said originally I was rooting for, unfortunately we did lose Joanna. I'm actually a little upset about that. I really wanted to see her race tonight. Yep. Oh, Joe, looks like Bowie is closing in on Joe. Joe's going to have to start working a little bit harder right here in the last 2 minutes of the race. Yep, Bowie is in third. Yeah, and like I said, he is putting the pressure on Joe. He could end up taking that third position. Pete is holding, Pete's doing really good, holding on to fourth. And looks like back there in the back, yep, ESR, Chef, and Guri69 are still going at it. Chef in fifth and Guri69 in sixth. It looked like Chef got a really nice exit there. I have to say, it seems the Civic is really good on being able to put the power down and getting a really good solid exit on the ice. And like I said, we have Guri69 in sixth. And Mike HLB is hanging in there. He is in seventh. But seeing as how we started with several drivers, 7th place is really not a bad finish in my book by any means. And I still say Mike HLB, I think, still has had the most beautiful downhill run tonight. And here's our action at the moment. I'm gonna have to go up here so I don't miss Sig in a minute crossing the line. But Guri is really putting the pressure on Chef at the moment, trying to close that gap. Let's check in on Sig. We'll see where Sig is. 22 seconds. Well, we're going to have to wait to see if he actually gets across the line or not. This could be the last lap. Oh, as it looks like behind him, we do have everyone a little bit close there coming through. Yep, let's get up here on Sig and see where he's going to finish. Nope, he will not make it across the line to make one more lap. This is it. Oh, and he is, look at that. He knows we're watching. And he did that just for show. That was absolutely beautiful, Sig. That was a nice drift right there. And let's see. Yep, there you go. You've got just a minute before the other guys start coming across the track if you want to do some quick donuts. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, that was a great win, Sig. Great drive. Let me catch Joe. I've got to catch Joe here. Joe, look at Joe Black here. Second place. He fought his ass off this whole race. I have to say, second place, Bathurst, Mount Panorama. That's very impressive. You can tell, yeah, Joe, very, very happy. And Bowie, where's Bowie? Bowie, third place. He's also giving us, these cars really do the spins good. Pete, where you at, Pete? Pete's made it across the line. Oh, he's waiting. He's deciding if he's going to give us some donuts or not. I'll come right back to Pete. Where's Chef? There's Chef. Oh, looks like Chef's not gonna give us any donuts. He did make it across the line, though, I believe. Yeah, he did make it across the line there in 5th. Guri 69 in 6th. And here comes Mike HLB in 7th. And still, once again, I have to say, the most beautiful downhill run that we saw tonight. So there we have it, y'all. Sig really pulling it off with a great first place win. The guy I was rooting for the whole time, Joe Black in 2nd, Bowie in 3rd, Pete in 4th, ESR Chef in 5th, Guri 69 in 6th, Mike HLB in 7th. And it looks like, yep, TTV Alianzo did stick around in the lobby, so he looks like he did get an 8th, even though he did get a disqualifying, and maybe it will let him back in for the next round here. We'll have to wait and see. And that old sorry jukebox didn't do anything and still pulled off a 9th place. And yep, sorry y'all, I have a, there we go, just a little something so we don't have to go back to the lobby with everyone. And if I was a better commentator, I would have y'all some music, as I'm sure Bowie will probably point that out here in the chat. I'm sure he'll pick on me a little bit about it. But Bowie, no, I couldn't bring myself to put the dancing robot on here during the in-between screen. But since I have not done any advertisement for GAVRA Racing, now's my chance. So y'all bear with me 1 second, and I'm going to give y'all a really bad, cheesy advertisement. Alright, so if you haven't gone to the website, please do. It's gavraracing.altavista.org. There is tons of information on there. We have a new F1 league starting next week. I'm not sure if there are spots available, but there could be. You never know till you check the website out. As well as, I believe the registration just opened up for the new Project Cars 2 leagues that will start, I believe, about mid-February, so plenty of time to sign up for those. But at the same time, don't slack off too much, or you'll want to do one race and it's going to fill up. You won't get a chance. If you're new to sim racing or league racing, there is the GAVRA Racing Project Cars 2 Academy you can join. All you have to do is message Gavra Novick or Gavra 91 on the Discord, And all the information should be below in the descriptions, along with links to everything, the website and the Discord channel. And there is also an F1 Academy, I believe, starting up next week as well, and there may be spots for it. Oh, and Bowie says he got disqualified after the finish. You got disqualified after the finish for doing donuts? Oh, that is... Man, if it wasn't so cold outside, I'd go down there and I'd slap the race director, but it's just too cold. I'm sorry. But yeah, y'all go to the website, check it all out, and down at the very bottom of the website, you'll find a link to the Discord channel. You know, come join us. We've always got stuff going on. Sig has made a great Discord channel for us that he maintains. And yeah, on the website, there's so much information, past, present, and future league information, driver information. It could take you a really long time to look it all up. And yeah, I turned the volume down on my phone, and for some reason it's still beeping in the background. So it looks like the guys are getting just about readied up. Oh, and yeah, that was Bathurst. Yeah, sorry y'all. Let me let's see if I can... I believe I put in the wrong map because we just did Bathurst. And we are going to Ruapuna Park, so let me actually see if I can get that over there. Oh, I copied the wrong image. Yep, y'all bear with me just 1 second. This does happen. A little bit of technical difficulties and a little bit of brain difficulty too. There we go. Yep, took me just a second, but yep, I managed to get software to cooperate and finally got my brain to cooperate. Oh, yep, looks like most of the guys are... Yep, everybody's getting... Most of them are all readied up. Yep, we're getting ready to go on in here. And yep, y'all, I'm going to be quiet for just 1 second and get us changed over here. I am going to give y'all, as soon as this intro video gets done, we will be right back with the next round at Ruapuna Park. As promised, I told y'all we'd be exactly right back. Yep. And let me get just a little bit bigger view there. There we go. And yes, we are here at Ruapuna Park GP 3.0 1.26 kilometers or 2.03 miles long. Yep, I believe that is TTV. Alonso did manage to get back in. He's giving us a beautiful slide there as I'm going over the map information. They do have 12 turns. I got the qualifying right this time with 10 minutes and a 20-minute race. And once again, just in case y'all couldn't tell, it's cold out. These guys are on snow again. So let me pop this off of it, get this track map off of here, and we will go through and see what drivers we managed to get back in here. I'm glad that TTV Alonso has managed to get back in. Alright, so sitting in first is that old jukebox, even though he's just sitting around hanging out in the pit. Yeah, don't know what that's about. Somebody needs to talk to him. Got TTV Alonso tonight. He did manage to get back in. Very excited to see him race. Oh, Pete is the first one to set a qualifying time. Sorry, y'all. It was like I said, you know, it was like a ball being thrown. I looked up and I was like, ooh, time. Pete starting out with a 1:42. Oh, and Joe is going to be the second person to set a time. He was in second, but Sig came back and beat him by a decent amount. Wow, Sig managed to pull out about 6 seconds in front of Joe on the first laps out. But anyway, yes, tonight we have... Let me start back over, get my brain right, and actually get this in order here. We have TTV Alonso, sorry. And we have Pete, Sig, giving us a beautiful slide. Look, wow. That was impressive. We have Joe Black, GAVRA Racing's local legend himself, though I think he doesn't always know it. We have Solo, Bowie, and I believe last race I was saying All-Star, but I believe this is Alonso, not TTV Alonso. So I believe, so what I'll do is I will call Alonso, and TTV I will call TTV, just to help keep me and you, the viewers, a little straight. But yeah, I believe these are brothers. So it'd be good to see what these guys put down on track. They could make a very impressive team. We have Guri69 again. And Mike HLB as well. I'm going to stick with Mike HLB for a minute. I've got to watch his beautiful driving. Some would say, hey, well, he went off track there. I say, man, that was absolutely gorgeous. He did not spin out. He held on to the car the whole time. Never got too far sideways and had to do a major recovery. In my book, that is fantastic drift work right there. He is managing this ice very well. Alright, so let's go back up here to the top, because these guys have started setting times for just about everyone, and we are down to 5 minutes left. And just real quick, thanks everyone who has stuck around for the second race. Believe me, this is going to be, I believe, even more entertaining than the last one, though. It's going to be really tough to beat. We've got Bowie currently setting the fastest lap with a 1:37. TTV right behind him. Come on, camera guy, I know you're cold, but you got to get with it. We got a job to do. TTV also with a 1:37. If y'all can't see it, there is only 1/10 of a second separating these two. In third at the moment, we have Pete with a 1:38. Guri69 also with a 1:38 in fourth. Oh, shaping up to be quite a tight grid tonight so far here. ESR Chef in 5th, also a 138. Joe Black in 6th, also a 138. Wow. Highly impressive, guys. Y'all are really going to be all on top of each other, and as we saw last race, and you'll see with just about every race with Joe, he is usually a lot faster in the race than he is during qualifying. Sig, we know we're going to see Sig come back up there. Oh, looks like he's got himself a little bit of a mid-pack field here. Everybody trying to battle for a little too much space in the last 3 minutes of qualifying. Sig has currently a 139. Solo in 8th with a 140. Mike HLB in 9th with a 141. Oh, looks like he's got a little bit far off track there, though. Yep, there we go. He's managed to get back on track and made a good recovery. Alonso in 10th with a 144. And yeah, y'all just ignore that guy down there in 11th. He isn't going to do a damn thing tonight. He's just lazy. All he's going to do is sit up in that nice, warm commentator's box. Oh, as Alonso does go really wide right there. I started to say a little wide, but nope, that was in fact very wide. But did a great job of managing to recover. If it had been me, I'd have been doing 50 donuts out there in the field. Which I live in the southern United States, so when it snows around here, that is exactly what we do. We go find a field and we can't handle the car, so we just go out there and do a bunch of donuts, you know. It looked like TTV did improve to a 135 though, putting him 2 seconds in front of Bowie now. We are down to the last minute and a half of qualifying. Let's see, Joe's still in the pit. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We are going to finish up this last 1 minute in qualifying, and we're going to jump back in the cockpit with Sig. So I think we're going to see him improve, and it'll be good to see him on that improvement lap. And he hasn't complained about, you know, squeezing over and allowing all of us into his cockpit either. This is a really small car. Not room for all of us that are climbing in here with him. We can see there, Sig really throwing the weight of the car around to get it to rotate for him. Oh, now that right there is just absolutely beautiful. That is a great display of fantastic driving. There he may have actually used his e-brake to get it to slide that time. We can see he didn't do the little get the weight in there. You notice, you'll see the driver's juice. It won't be much. They don't have to do a lot. They'll do just a slight little jerk of the wheel to get the weight of the car to shift so the rear will rotate for them. It's either that or the emergency brake. Neither one are easy driving practices to master. They're both very, very difficult. Like right there, yeah, we can see Sig give it a quick jolt to one side to get the weight to shift, and then throw it back to the other side and get it to rock back, and your rear end will rotate right on around for you. But if you're me, well, the rear end just doesn't stop rotating. We are down to the last of the qualifying, and y'all have to excuse me for some reason. I'm gonna feel the need again to leave this nice warm commentator's box, go down to my car, and get cold again. So we're gonna start with TTV in first. Where's my cursor? Get my cursor up there. There we go. TTV in first. Guri69 in second. Sig definitely improved, put himself into third. Way to go. Bowie in fourth. Pete in fifth. ESR Chef Solo in seventh. Joe Black starting eighth. We know where he's going to end up. He's going to be up there close to the top when it finishes. Mike HLB in ninth. Alianzo in 10th. And, yep, see, that sorry old jukebox. Speaking of that sorry old jukebox, it's cold down here in my car, so y'all bear with me a minute, and we'll get back up here to this nice warm commentator's box.
I hate myself. No. 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 Wait, is that live? Or is that not live?
Well, hopefully our driver's nerves are a lot better than mine at the moment. I'm nervous for them going down into these first two turns. They can be quite brutal here at Ruapuna Park. They are really tough enough when it's dry, very difficult when it's raining. So in the ice, I have no idea. I've never been brave enough to try this track, as it looks like we're getting synced on in. Cars are revving, and they are off. TTV holding on to first, Guri second, Bowie holding on to third, Sig fourth, Pete fifth, ESR Chef sixth, Joe seventh. See, Joe's already moved up. Solo eighth. Alianzo moved his way up into eighth. Oh, and back down into ninth. Mike HLB in 10th. Looks like TTV got a little bit wide in turn one. Like I said, turn one very difficult. Sig rocketed his way up into first place. Where the hell did that happen? I am totally missing stuff here. Sig all the way up into first from the back. Everyone right on top of each other. Let's get a little bit of mid-pack action here so we can see how tight these cars are. Tires are flying. Cones are gone. No one letting off the throttle. Little bit of paint trading in the back. Oh, it looks like we did have one cut quite a bit of a corner off there, though. Not quite too sure which car that was, but yes, they definitely cut a good bit off of the corner, though. There, we did have a good bit of contact in that one corner. Joe has made his way up into third. See, told y'all Joe would end up somewhere towards the top. And fingers crossed, he is still my guy that I'm rooting for in this. Guri69 holding on to second. Bowie in third. Joe in fourth. Solo in fifth. The mid-pack, you can tell the mid-pack is right on top of each other. Very difficult track, everybody. Very difficult conditions. I don't see how these guys are managing to keep their cars on track at all. This is absolutely brutal on these drivers tonight. TTV has managed to hold himself into second. Oh, he was back up into fifth. But it looks like he overdid it going into turn one again. See, turn 1 and 2, very brutal, especially in these conditions. Alianzo is holding on to 8th. ESR Chef is in 9th. We'll see him move right back up. He's extremely consistent. Mike HLB once again in the back, but He is being very consistent. Beautiful slide through, right through there in the back. I think regardless of where anyone finishes, oh, absolutely beautiful Mike HLB. That is some fantastic drift work going on there. Yeah, I think no matter where these drivers finish tonight, I think all of them will definitely be saying they had a buttload of fun. These cars, these conditions, you can't help but to have fun. Like I said, I live in the southern United States. We just go out in the middle of a field and literally just do donuts, and we have the time of our lives. So these guys on the track is going to be great. Guri has made it past... Nope, Bowie has made it past Guri is what we saw there. And let's go up here and check. Bowie now putting pressure on Sig. Half a second off. Yep, 5/10 from him. Let's stick with this just a second. I can't repeat that. But good to see you here in the chat, Jetta Motorsport. It looks like Bowie did manage to get by Sig in the first turn. Sig definitely not having it though. Looks, is he going to go for the inside move? Not quite. Bowie going a little wide, yes, and allowed Sig to get up the inside, but Bowie had a great exit, giving him the position right back. Guri 69 right on the back of them. Bowie doing everything he can to hold on from Sig. Both these drivers doing a fantastic job, giving us a great display of fantastic driver skill. Look at that shot right there. Both drivers coming literally sideways, side by side through that turn. And when it's like that on the exit, it is literally who can get the power down. Oh, as it looks like we did have some contact in the back. I think someone may have locked up the brakes. I'm not sure what happened there. Sig still holding on to second. I thought I saw his car go flying. Maybe it wasn't. Not too sure what happened. Ryan Racing on here rooting for Bowie. Yep, he's doing a great job staying in front of Sig. Sig is one of the most difficult racers in GAVRA Racing to beat. There's a handful of them. He's not the only one. There is a handful of them. And you get major bragging rights if you do manage to beat them. Down to 14 minutes of this 20-minute race. Joe Black holding on to third. He's slowly making his way up the field. Solo holding on to fourth, but he's got Pete right behind him. Pete also receiving massive pressure from Guri 69 at the moment. We saw Pete make his way up to the front of the field in the last race. Can he do it again? This track is a different monster altogether. Oh, beautiful work right there between Pete and Guri 69. That was a fantastic shot of both of those cars coming through there. And then once again, right there, Solo, Pete, and Guri giving us a great show. This is definitely where the action is at the moment. Oh, Joe Black has now made his way into second, but he's got Sig right behind him. I want to go check on him, but I'm scared to, so I'm scared I'll miss something here at the back of the pack. Let's get these guys through this last turn. There they are. They're through the last turn. Let's go up here and check on Sig. Sig really trying to put the pressure on Joe Black. I don't know if Sig has ever been behind Joe Black or not, but if he hasn't, he's fixing to figure out just how hard it can be to get by Joe if he's never had to do it again. Anyone that hasn't had to try to get by Joe Black, it is just about impossible. That man can take a frog's hair and make it the widest thing there is on track. So we have actually right here going on, we have one of the absolute best defensive drivers in GAVRA Racing, fending off one of the fastest drivers in GAVRA Racing. I've got to stick with this, y'all. I can't help it. I've got to see where this goes. Joe is not going to give it up easy. Sig is trying. He's trying to get up there. He's also, man, look at both of these, all three drivers right there, beautifully through that turn. Great drifting on this track. I'm actually very jealous that I cannot drive these cars like this. Maybe one day. Nowhere near there yet, but who knows? Maybe one day. Sig really trying to put the power down, trying to get a run on Joe. And that's really what you got to do. You have to really try to get a run on Joe Black to try to get around him. But Joe is keeping Sig slowed up enough where Solo is now caught up to Sig and is putting the pressure on. And let's go right back here to check on Pete and Guri69. They are still fairly close. Pete is just outside. Excuse me, y'all. Pete's just outside the 1 second range. We're getting close to halfway through this race. Oh, now Guri. Close enough to start putting the pressure on Solo. And while all these guys are going at it for just a second, we're going to go back here and check on Mike HLB. He was in the Radical races last season. Did a great job. I can't remember what all the drivers have done, but I do remember Mike HLB was in the Radicals with us, and he did a great job. It was fantastic to race with him. And still, once again, he is really giving us a great show tonight. And demonstrating some fantastic drifting skills, I must say. Oh, a little bit deep. Like I said, turn one there, extremely brutal. It's proven to be brutal on all of the drivers tonight. It almost looks like some of the snow on the track is actually turning to a little bit of slush at this point, which you would think, hey, that's great, the ice is melting. No, slush is actually much slicker. Let's go up here where a little bit of action is and check on these guys. These guys have not let each other go. Sig still, there you are, Sig. Sig still has not managed to get by Joe Black. Like I said, if Sig has not been behind Joe Black at the moment, he's really learning why so many of us love to cuss at Joe. Not that we mean ill at Joe. It can be highly frustrating because he is just about impossible to get around. Especially when he's on a good run. And let's put the camera on Joe here because Joe he's been on a fantastic run all night. We are just under halfway. 9 minutes left of 20. Yep. And Joe's got himself a little bit of a lead because he is trying to fend off. We'll go see if we can get this in the middle of Sig, Solo, and Guri here so we can try to keep all of them on track. Oh, that is just gorgeous right there. Both the double livery side by side through the turn like that. But it has to make Sig wonder, does he have two cars putting pressure on him behind him? Or is he seeing double? These are very slidey cars that can really get you shaking around and get you to seeing double, so hopefully Sig knows there's two cars. I'm sure he does, y'all. I'm just trying to make some kind of jokes here. Got to keep it somewhat, or try to keep it somewhat entertaining. Even though I have horrendous jokes. I'll be the first to admit, my jokes are terribly cheesy. And I love them. I've got a horrible, horrible sense of humor. Oh, and it looks like Pete has caught back up to Guri and is putting the pressure on. The middle of the field here is not letting go. Pete putting pressure on Guri. Guri trying to put pressure on Solo. Solo trying to put pressure on Sig. And poor Sig is doing everything he can to try to get around Joe Black. Joe Black, hang in there, man. Don't let him by. Stay with it. I think you've got him frustrated, man. Just stick with it. You've got him locked in there behind you. I think. I could be totally wrong and he's playing with you, but I think you've really got him on the ropes. I think you've got Sig very frustrated and wanting by you so bad he can't stand it, but he cannot get by. Joe and Sig giving us a fantastic show there. Sig's trying to get the speed up and get a good exit and go for it, but see, Joe is always, he's in the spot where you need to be to pass him. He doesn't block you. He's just where you need to be. And that's just good, really, really good defensive driving. Like watch him right here. He's not going to take the apex. He's going to park his car just off of the apex. Meaning Sig either has to go literally off track on the inside or go deeper on the outside of the turn than he really wants to. And if he tries to go for it, it's just going to slow him down. So, yeah, Joe literally puts his car in the right spot, period. Oh, it looks like we just had a few disconnects and lost a few drivers there. Oh, very unfortunate. 6 minutes left in the race. Let's look at Bowie here. Bowie pulling off. Bowie, wow, Bowie. 7.5, 8. Yeah, 8-second lead over Joe Black at the moment. Bowie really putting it down in the Honda Civic. Ryan Racing, it may have been you cheering for him in here to get him going, but he has definitely put the power down. Oh, he has caught up with Mike HLB. Both of them were a little bit wide and trying to hang on there. I really don't think that was anybody's fault. Both cars were in a little bit of a slide there. Will that let Joe catch up a little bit? Joe getting down to 4 seconds. 3.5 seconds. 3 seconds. 3.5 seconds now to Bowie. Joe Black getting close enough. He could put pressure on Bowie, but he does have Mike HLB in between him. Sorry. Solo holding on to third. Beautiful drifting down through there. Pete is holding on to fourth. Pete has been giving us one hell of a show and race tonight as well, I must say. Pete also was in the Radicals along with Joe. We actually have several guys here that were in the Radicals. Chef filled in a little bit on 1 or 2 races. Mike HLB was a Radical racer. Pete was a Radical racer. And Joe Black was a Radical racer. So yeah, you can kind of see why I am rooting for some of these guys a little bit extra than some of the others. But Oh, let's go down here to Guri. Guri now putting pressure on Chef. Little bit of paint trading there. It looked like Guri had a little bit more speed than Chef did through that turn, and he kind of caught up with Chef just a little bit faster than he thought he was going to. Oh no, Solo is now getting close enough to put the pressure on Joe. 3.5 minutes left. As if y'all didn't catch it in the background, we had some more drivers, and that is a very difficult turn. I think all the drivers have definitely been getting wide in that one turn. Once again, very difficult track, very difficult conditions. And actually, let's go up here to... Where is Joe Black? There is Joe Black. Hopefully, let's see if Joe Black mind squeezing over just a little bit. We'll take a lap around the track with Joe Black here. Just bear with me 1 second. Yep, Joe, if you'll just squeeze over just a little bit there and let me and the audience in there with you, we're going to take a lap around the track with you real fast. see how Joe, from the trackside cam, Joe has been doing a great job with this last turn. Let's see how he handles it from inside his cockpit. And now I get it. I see now that we're in the car with Joe, how Joe has been doing so well in these WRX cars on ice. You watch when he turns, he's got that magic steering wheel. See? It's just his hands. He's got a magic steering wheel. But of course, that is not cheating here at GAVRA Racing. If you have the magic steering wheel, well, then that just means you have some great luck. Joe, we're going to let you drive. We're going to climb back out of your cockpit. We've got a minute left. Yeah, Joe does still have Solo right behind him. They are the closest drivers at the moment. Like I promised, Ruapuna Park has proven to be extremely brutal. Actually, far more brutal than I anticipated. I actually thought that they would have a little bit easier time with Ruapuna Park than Bathurst, but they did not. Ruapuna Park has proven to be much more difficult. Let's see where Bowie, our leader, is. He is 7 seconds now in front of Joe. 30 seconds left. Let's stick with him and see if we get one more lap or not. I'm not gonna lie, I'd like to see him get across the line and this way we get one more lap out of this race. I believe we'll get just a little bit more action out of Solo and Joe, and maybe a little bit of the guys down the road farther down. ESR Chef is really close to Pete. Yep, we will get one more lap. Bowie pulling off a magnificent drift through there. Some of these drivers definitely are having a blast on the snow. Yeah, so let's check in on Joe. Joe is in second. Oh, it looks like he did manage to pull his lead back out in front of... Nope, there he is. Solo is putting the power down massively, trying to catch up for this last lap. They know it's the last lap. It's literally all or nothing. Joe's gonna keep him fended off. Oh no, I see some of the drivers we lost now. I just realized it was Sig. We lost Sig along the lines. While he was trying to battle it out with Joe, we have lost Sig. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Sig has been having some trouble with his internet though. Man, you hate to see anybody get disconnected while they're, especially like that, up in the middle of battling. But I guess we can put Sig down as yet another driver that could not get by Joe Black. Thus just adding to Joe Black's legend. Pete in fourth, Chef in fifth. Let's get back up here to Bowie. I know he's getting ready to come across the line. Bowie is across the line. Bowie is our winner. Out of nowhere, he really managed to get out there in front. Yep, go ahead, Bowie. I can see everybody else in the background. Bowie's giving us some great donuts. Maybe he won't get disconnected for his donuts this time. All the drivers clearly having a lot of fun coming across the line there. Oh! Oh, yeah, they're having a lot of fun. And look at Joe. Joe there. Joe is just eating it up. Joe, I believe that was, I have a horrible memory, but I believe that was a second place for both races for you. Which is just absolutely fantastic. And there we have it, y'all. Bowie with the win. Very impressive win. Joe Black out of nowhere. 2 second places. Like I said, even further adding to the legend that is Joe Black. Solo in third. Pete in fourth. Very nice job, Pete. I know you're really happy with that. Chef in fifth. Guri69 in 6th, Mike HLB in 7th. Mike HLB, I really do hope you had a lot of fun. You were doing some fantastic driving, in my opinion, and it was an absolute pleasure to watch you race. I always try to give the guys that finish last a little bit extra props, because they really do deserve it. And he did do a great job. And yeah, and there it was. Thanks everyone for watching. Oh yeah, Bowie is going off in the chat. He says finally a win. Oh, that was definitely a very tough win, I have to say. On these tracks. Yeah, that was a great job. Anybody that is still watching, while we're sitting here and I've got y'all just watching it snow and some pit guys, I'll take a minute, and if y'all want to name a driver of the day, we will call a driver of the day. But if y'all don't vote, then I will pick one myself. Or I guess actually we can have two if it comes down to it. Well, one for each race. I guess really just a driver of the race, I believe, is what we did last week. Bowie says he don't know. Bowie was really good out there. I agree, Bowie. Bowie was pretty good out there, but he did get the first place position. And I do try to give the driver of the day to someone not on the podium, just to help, I guess, kind of share in the glory. I guess there's better words for it. There's people out there that would be a lot better at saying what I'm trying to convene here. But, you know, for me, I like to spread the driver of the day around. I definitely think on Bathurst, I want to give it to Mike HLB for his downhill run. That was just an absolute beautiful downhill run from him. Bowie says Joe, even after starting, yeah, oh yeah, Joe did great. He didn't have the win, and I have to say, let's for Ruapuna. Look, I tell you what, I will give it to Mike HLB for Bathurst and Joe Black for Ruapuna Park, because I have to say the way Joe managed to keep Sig back behind him was impressive, and he definitely has earned some bragging rights for that. I'm really hoping we see a lot of banner from Joe to Sig for that in the Discord. Bowie agrees with that. Yep, and Bowie, me and you are the only ones talking about it, so that is our final decision then. Yeah, Mike HLB for Racer of the Day for Bathurst, and Joe Black, the legend, for Ruapuna Park. For y'all, I hope you enjoyed the race as much as I did. They keep me on the edge of my chair every time, especially with this season. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure you go to the website, check us out. You can join the Discord if you're new to league racing and you want to try it out. There's the academies, and if you want to help support what we do, there is a Patreon link down below. We are purely community driven, so it all helps, because everything, even all the way down to the webpage, does cost a little bit of money every month. It's not much, but it does. And Gavra does a lot for us. So from me, Jukebox73, my first thanks is to Gavra and all the administrators at Gavra Racing for the opportunity and all they do for us. Second is to you, the viewers. Without y'all, let's face it, it wouldn't happen. And then last, to the drivers for putting on an absolute amazing show. And thank y'all. Make sure you tune in next week and check out the website. We've got a lot of stuff starting up soon. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and have a good night.